Okay, we're going to start the regular meeting. We already did the pledge and the roll call with the public hearing, so we're going to move on in the agenda. I need a motion to accept the minutes from the October 25th, 2023 public hearing and on the 2024 budget and the regular town board meeting.
So I'll do it all together in one line item?
Yes.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the October 25th, 2023 public hearing, the 2024 budget, and also the 2024 regular town board meeting.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, supervisor's monthly financial report. The board members all have that. Just to let you know, as of October 31st, our total interest we've earned is $80,359.
Wonderful.
Okay, persons addressing the board, we have none. Public comments? Any public comments? Nope. Okay, motion to approve the November bills. I'll read those into the record. General fund, $20,448.80. Part-town B fund, $756.69. Highway, $11,792.60. Capital, $2,418.21. Line Mountain Lights, $1,740.80. Line Mountain Sewer, $5,881.79. Nothing for Dannemora Sewer. Line Mountain Water, $1,339.86. Dannemora Water, $25. Ledger's Corner Water District, $956.77. And Trust and Agency, $4,154.61 for a total of $49,515.13.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the October 2023 monthly expense bills at $49,515.13.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? Roll call, Jim.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Joey.
Yep.
Deb.
Yes. Okay. Resolutions. I'm going to switch the order of these two. Amendment to the 2024 budget. So on October 26th, the day after we approved our final budget, the Saranac Fire District Commissioners let the village know that they were pulling out of our previously agreed upon collaboration for EMS with the village and them. This was 1 week after the deadline we gave them to tell us whether they were staying or going. So, all right. So this changed what we had in place, but between the village and the town, we came up with a Plan B, which, even though it's not the over and above level of service that we originally wanted, it's still a solid plan to cover the town's needs. So the main ambulance is going to be stationed in the village of Dannemora, but it will no longer be in Saranac, obviously, for half of the year as before. So they'll be able to respond anywhere in the town in 15 minutes or less, because they're not going to have to come from Saranac during the winter time. The ambulance will always be staffed with ALS level care. The auxiliary ambulance that's owned by the Line Mountain Fire District will be at the Line Mountain Fire Station, fully operational, stocked, ready to go. If for some reason the ambulance in the village is out on a call already and there's another call, any BLS or ALS qualified volunteer firemen and the EMTs that are living in and around the hamlet have already know that they are fully authorized to go and jump in the ambulance and respond. We have 3 ALS trained EMTs that live in Line Mountain or close to Line Mountain. So, and they have all agreed that if they get the call and that they will respond. And I know that there's some firemen who have been wanting to respond in that capacity.
It's actually the ones that are on the payroll for the village. We got a couple that live in our district, and we got a couple that are in our volunteer department. And if they can respond, and they're actually gonna be able to get paid. So if they, say they got the day off and they're around and we get a call, cardiac arrest or whatever, they show up there, we got a volunteer driver or whatever, they can roll with it, and they can actually take a call, and that person's still gonna get paid from the village for taking the call. So it actually works out pretty good.
A little more incentive to go.
Yeah, and the crew from the village will also regularly be manning, the ambulance up in Lime Mountain. You know, they'll spend a couple hours, you know, a few days a week, because one, they want to familiarize themselves with the hamlet and the surrounding areas that they respond to. And, you know, let people see that they're there, introduce themselves to people in the hamlet. So, even though there's not going to be, at least for this year, a crew stationed full-time in the hamlet, there will be, I think, pretty good coverage and with a highly qualified staff. So with that, there's also a higher cost because there's fewer people paying for the service, but we're not going to increase the cost of town taxpayers. We'll keep it at $1.30 per thousand that we originally costed out in the budget last month. And instead, we are going to supplement it. So $251,655.12 was the amount that we had put on the taxpayers, and that's still going to stand. In January, February timeframe, we get a check for supplemental sales tax revenue, and that's going to be in between the $40,000 and $50,000 range. So we'll use that, and then we'll take $43,885.36 from the appropriated fund balance to get the total that we need. So over the what used to be 2 ambulance districts and now is 1. Based on last year's costs, we're saving $125,760.52. So we have a couple of resolutions that we need to pass here. The first motion I need is to accept.
Before we make, are we gonna have discussion after the motion?
Yeah. Okay. So a motion to accept this amendment to the budget. Is that what you want to?
No.
No. Okay. Motion to accept the amendment to the budget.
I'll make a motion to accept the amendment for the budget.
Second.
Any more discussion? Roll call, Jim?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Joey?
Yep.
Deb?
Yes. Okay. And then we need a motion to rescind that resolution that we had before to use that sales tax money, the sales tax money that would normally go to offset the county taxes. We were going to use some of that, but we're not using any of that now. So that will remain as it is. So we need a motion to rescind that previous amendment, resolution that we did. So I'll move to do that.
Second.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then the third resolution I need is to authorize me to sign the EMS contract in the amount of the $335,540.48.
I'll make a motion to allow Debbie to be the signatory on signing the final contract to have the 1 ambulance district be in the town of Dannemora.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Yes. Before, well, it pertains to the ambulance, so I guess before we get out of there. So is Standish involved any longer?
Saranac is covering Standish.
Saranac, so what about the Saranac part around the village itself? That's also Saranac covered, or do they
No,
have
the village,
contract?
no, the village, if they're within the village still covers them. So the village
But
will,
anything outside of the village, but if Saranac is butted right up there, that'll be Saranac?
yes.
Yeah, the line is right there at Maple Fields.
If they
Yeah.
call
Sign
for
there.
somebody on Emmons
Yeah.
Street today, And the whistle, the ambulance came all the way out of Saranac.
They're till December 2nd, they're pulling out. and they're
Yeah, it's
gonna
still,
start.
yeah, it's till the end of this year.
And then
They're
once
still in the old contract.
The line on Emmett Street is just past the village office, right at the Y, you'll see it right there. So they'll get from there and back this way, then Saranac.
So, I don't know, I guess I don't see this as it's a solution. I personally don't think it's a great solution. Is there any talk of putting an ambulance back in Lime Mountain? I know you mentioned it in the email, but.
Well, the ambulance is in Lime Mountain. It's fully stocked, it's ready to go.
But not staffed.
Not fully staffed, no. It will be staffed occasionally, like they plan to go up there a few times a week, staff it for a few hours, because they want to, they got paperwork and stuff they gotta do up there.
For the following year, are they going to look, is the village EMS going to look at staffing that and see what the feasibility and the possibility is?
Yeah,
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, I can actually add a little more to that, because in our meetings, listen, this is kind of a bitter pill for us to swallow, because we had the perfect plan.
Would've been
Oh,
awesome.
Perfect plan set up with
again,
the,
we're cut short, but still, it's a fix for a year. I don't think it's a permanent fix myself.
No, we're gonna have monthly steering committee meetings with them, with the village and EMS, the fire district, and we're working out the solution. This is a year where we learn, okay, we didn't need that much money here, we need a little bit more here. And they were a little hesitant, plus with the amount of money it would have cost, they were a little hesitant to fully staff up in Lime Mountain. They did the calculations, and would they say 85% of it, 90% of the calls were on that side of the dam, on the Danamore side of the dam. The village has a lot more calls than we have. They looked at the call volumes. So it made sense to put it there. We're actually even looking at perhaps putting something halfway in between, looking at building something.
Right, as opposed to staffing two places, because I've already had 3 people tell me, well, what the F are we doing that for? That's a mutual aid call to us anyways. So.
Well, mutual aid doesn't guarantee someone's gonna show up. This guarantees somebody shows up.
Well, if the ambulance is not already out, but, okay,
Yep.
as long as we're trying to make it better.
Yeah,
It's
and-
maybe not a
and-
bad
yeah,
solution,
and-
putting it right in the middle, so.
And mutual aid, also, they have to call the primary, 2 or 3 times before they talk to
Before they
mutual
go to
aid.
mutual aid.
We tried
Whereas this
working on a
one-
couple different things, but like in all reality, I asked a question in the meeting, like, they've been with Saranac for how many years? It'd be 6 months down there and 6 months up here, so from the Anamore station, the county line on Route 3, that's a long ways. So I asked that, so basically this, it's gonna be the same length from the village to where Bill Chase lives, that's where the line is up there. So it's basically the same as what they've been doing down there in the past. So it's a lot better to have that ambulance coming guaranteed and then not having paid staff on like for 2 or 3 days straight. It's kind of, what I was looking at. But once we get through this year, like I say, if we can get something, this right here is the center of the district, and they already agreed that if everything goes good, that we'll look at putting a building up here. And then they'll go from here to Danamore, the village, and then they'll go that way, and I'm hoping that it works out great. I think it will.
Yeah.
If Saranac would have dropped out, would have been an awesome program.
Right, but
But they may kick themselves.
Well, and
the village and Saranac just don't click.
they don't,
So
and
they're going in a
there's-
better direction, I can tell you that. They're gonna have. it's
and
not
I think
easy.
they're making a mistake. But,
it's definitely a test year for us, for
We
sure.
also at that Mike, is we were gonna, like, we talked about putting that one basic in my mount, but then you got like safety issues and stuff, and then mental health cases and stuff. People are showing up at the firehouse, and if that one person is there, and if you don't get a driver, I mean, you're paying that person, that amount of
Well,
money
I
for sitting
understand
there.
all that, I just,
It was kinda crazy.
hopefully it just doesn't rest.
oh, no.
No.
No, we've already, we're gonna be meeting at least once a month, initially, just to, because we're gonna watch where the money's spent, how it's done, how many calls. This is basically a gathering information year as well as, the coverage. And we're hoping that, it works out to where, our goal is to have a fully staffed, ambulance at that end, and then one in Village or here in the center.
We made it pretty clear to the village ambulance service that you gotta understand that the hamlet of Lime Mountain is basically a senior area now. And that it's very, very important that those individuals get proper care when they need it. Just because, number one, of their age and they just make sure we gotta have that response time to be there. And they realize that. They said, listen, we totally realize that. We understand where one time Lime Mountain was here, but now it is definitely more toward the senior side of the population. So, but like I said, it's a test year for us. We weren't happy either, I'm telling you. We really pushed hard right to the bitter end to say, listen, we gotta have that second rate status.
Well,
We really do.
And the worst thing for me, this whole thing, is to have members of
Saying that.
certain people sitting there and looking us right in the eye saying, yep, this is a great plan. This is the only good solution. And then, but
They knew
that's,
the whole time that they were
that's
gonna sign.
water over the dam. We're moving on. So, are you good?
I'm better.
Okay.
My only other thing is, so next year, so Saranac and Morrisonville just don't click, and then Saranac's knocking back on our door, and so do you let them back in? Do you say, hey?
Well, that's gonna be up to the
You
village.
picked your poison?
Yeah,
know.
that'll be.
Then that just throws a wrench in coming to the middle of the town.
But you know what they don't, what won't happen is they will be given a deadline, and if they don't say yes or no by the deadline, then it's over.
Well, the other thing too, we heard, Mike, and we haven't, it's not 100% confirmed, but we have heard some chatter that Morrison will not do business with Saranac unless it's more than a 1-year contract.
Oh, without a doubt, Morrisonville is getting overloaded. They aren't gonna be able to handle everything they're doing.
But they put that 30-day pull-out in their contract too, like they did up there. And Saranac, the members in the district won't treat them like they did to the paid staff in the village, because they'll just pull out.
And I don't know if you heard about the other thing, but the village, so Sean, I think all of the village went to the Saranac board meeting, town board meeting, and we're very blunt with the members of the town that attended, that this is what we had, this is what you got, this is the cost, now here's the new cost. And I guess it wasn't a very friendly gathering.
But they went basically to say, you were getting this service, you're not gonna be getting that anymore. We're sorry that we can't service you anymore, but, these are the people that decided.
I think the
What
village
they
actually
decided,
sent
so-
letters out to the town taxpayer residents, inform them what happened.
Yeah, so, anyway,
Okay.
so Joey made the,
Jason
And-
seconded it.
okay.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. I think I got, all 3 resolutions, okay. And to add to that, as far as funding for us goes, in the next week or so, once I have this resolution and the village's meeting is next week, they'll pass the resolution to accept the contract, and then I'll go to Mike Zerlo, Shared Services, put in the Shared Services paperwork, and a year from now, if we show that we did actually save that amount of money, which, obviously we are gonna save at least $125,000, Shared Services will reimburse us that amount that we saved. So, all right. Trying to keep money in the pipeline. Old business, update on FEMA and Homeland Security. So all the documentation is in for the FEMA damage that we got, and now it's just a waiting game as to, once it grinds through the stuff there.
Did they backdate us to July 2nd?
No.
They did not.
Nope, that never went through. So what we have for damage was on gates of the dam. The seals are leaking, which isn't a surprise, seeing as the amount of water, debris, toys, whatever went through that,
Wood.
yeah, went through there, dinging off those brass strips that are the seals. They are very easily damaged. So there's that, and then also one of the roads.
Denise
So-
showed me a picture of the stuff that ended up going through and just collected. I mean, it's a mountain. It's amazing we didn't lose one of those gates.
Mhm.
Really amazing.
We, yeah,
Well, if it would've plugged that trash rack up, would've caused that lake to, succumb, that overflow.
mhm.
Could've
And-
been, could've been a lot worse.
We did talk with one of the FEMA people that came, and they were talking about the trash rack. Should it be, should we make it more, smaller squares on it, whatnot? But then that issue comes up. If you block it, now you've got this.
Pressure, back
So,
pressure.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to do something to work on that, otherwise they're gonna bring a crane in and literally lift it out.
That's,
So if
yeah.
they gotta lift it out, and maybe they can put a gate in it that can be opened and go in and do work in there.
Yeah, they're gonna, the estimate is for actually 2 gates. And it is like it'd be a 2-week project because they'd have to bring a crane in, put that plug in, replace those brass strips, and that's the last time we had those gates repaired, it was those brass strips. It wasn't damaged from the force of water last time, it was, they had stuck to the gate, when they pulled the gate up, it curled those brass strips right up, and
And there is a spare there, but
Yeah.
if they're funding it, let them buy 2 more and save one for the future.
so. That's where we stand with FEMA. And hopefully they don't ask for any more documentation, because what a process. Okay, so this is update on Forte payment processing. It was brought up a few meetings ago about being able to pay for various things online. So Becky's been working with this company. Excuse me, and this is the what it would look like for utility billing. So for the people in Lime Mountain and the other side of Dannemora. So you'd be able to go in and pay.
And the Forte symbol right there actually has the Down at Dannemora seal now. I had that
Yeah.
updated today. So if you don't see that seal,
So you'll
no, don't go it.
So you'll see the instructions on that, and, as you know, with any municipality, if you use a credit card, you're gonna get charged a percentage, but if you use an e-check, it's only a 50-cent charge.
No, $2 flat fee.
Oh, $2 for this one,
For
$2?
taxes, for everything, it's a $2 flat fee if you use an e-check.
Is this for our Canadian neighbors as well?
Yep,
Absolutely.
anybody who can access the internet.
And the tax portal is already up.
Yep.
Online, running.
And
I don't know.
so
how
for
to
your
use it.
tax portal, for your property taxes, which is for everybody, you'd go to the county treasurer's office web page, and then find the town under the tax thing there. You find the town of Dannemora, and then that opens up the page where you can put in your name, you can put in the bill number, you can put in a variety of things, and it'll bring up your bill, and then from there you'll be able to pay if you want to pay with an e-check. So for the like you say, for the Canadian friends who are not, their mail system doesn't seem to work much better than ours.
All the links are on the website. The utility one will be on the website later on. It doesn't need to be on now. And don't click. See where it says Clayton County Treasurer Office and it says payments? Don't click that. That is paying to the county, not to us. You have to click on the little thing that says Dannemora.
Did you say the directions are on the website?
Sure.
Great, okay, thank you.
The link is
They-
on, the link is on the website.
All the instructions will be
Yeah.
available,
Yeah.
either by clicking on something or,
And if anybody has any problems, they can call me and I can walk them through it.
okay?
For information.
All right. Orsand update, final check was received, and for $96,938.48.
What's that give us for a total for the year?
Oh, geez.
Well, that was the first check. 33,
Just roughly dollars and cents.
400,000. The first one was 386, right?
386,000, right?
Plus 90.
Plus 96, so about almost half a million.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone have any other old business? Okay. New business. Holiday week schedule, the week of Christmas will be off. Christmas is on a Monday. New Year's Day is on a Monday, so that whole week. Of course, we will be in and out. There's payroll, there's taxes, there's a variety of things, so we'll be in and out, but for all intents and purposes, the offices will be closed. And I'll get a motion on that.
Open on 1/2?
Hmm?
Open on 1/2?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept the holiday schedule.
Second.
Holiday week of 2023.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. Elmore SPCA agreement. Basically, it is $1,500 this year, up from $1,200 last year. But they're, so we've got the contract here, and
Need a motion to be a signatory in that too?
yes, please.
I'll make a motion that Debbie becomes a signatory to finalize the outstanding agreement between Elmore SPCA and the town of Dannemora.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? Roll call, Jim.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Joey.
Yep.
Deb.
Yes.
That's for the violent dogs,
Excuse me?
Dangerous dogs.
dangerous dogs?
The dangerous dogs, we still have, we are the shelter for dangerous dogs in the town of Dannemora. We have a setup over on the town garage side, and we have Janet Collier, who is the Ags and Markets person for this kind of thing, has come and inspected. She's actually the one who gave us what we needed to do to have a holding pen for dangerous dogs. And so we got everything that was required. And she came and inspected it, and we're good to go.
So I'm sorry, what's the Elmore agreement?
1,500.
What do they do for us? Or what do we do for them?
They take any dogs that Danielle has to take in.
Ah,
That's where it
thank
goes. Yes.
Basically an outlet for us. And then they
Yeah.
take anything to do with it.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Wastewater treatment plant project update. So we did get an additional grant, and they are waiting on one more. They'll know in December whether they got the other, the second WQIP. Don't ask me what those acronyms stand for. Grant. So we've got the first WQIP grant we got was for $1 million. We got a BIL grant for 2.26 million. We got a WIIA grant, but that's a fluctuating grant. What that one is that they will give us 25% of the money that is not already covered by a grant. So that fluctuates. The more other grant money we get, that one goes down, but we still will get that money. So
Yeah.
we're hoping that, when it's all said and done, we don't have, we have a very small amount to bond out. We're hoping to close on our short-term financing before the end of the year. That's not gonna happen, so we have to renew the $200,000 that was borrowed in a ban. And we'll renew that. We have to pay off the interest from this year to renew that one, but then it should be very short, probably, we're looking at March of 2024 to close out the short-term financing. So there shouldn't be too much interest involved with that one. and then that gets lumped into, the bond, so. And we do qualify for 0% financing on the bond, so, we won't have any finance, it'll all be principal that we pay on the bond. They're looking at, beginning construction in the spring of 2025 and ending, in construction, at the end of that construction period, so by December of 2025, it should be done. They could put out bids in the spring, but by then, all the contractors have already gotten their jobs for the construction period. So they'll put out the bids in the fall of next year, and that way they have get a better price. The contractors have open slates right then, so they're looking for jobs. And that's that one.
Not bad, really. I think if you look at it, I mean, I know the price of the project's expensive, over $5.5 million, but almost 2/3 of it, right, is gonna be covered in grants.
Hopefully, yep. So, another long-term battle. All right, under other, I have something else. I had sent you guys the resolution that we were asked to pass by the Adirondack Association of Towns and Villages concerning cell towers. And basically what they're looking at is so that the end result of all this paper, the herefore whatnots, resolved that the town of Dannemora supports the proposed designation of a point person to coordinate the state's efforts to enhance cellular coverage, and formally ask Governor Hochul to further enhance the state's efforts on expansion by employing a similar model to ORES that respects home rule. Basically, they want governor to review the 2002 APA Tower Policy Antiquated Substantial Invisibility Standard, which is the main impediment to delivering reliable telecommunications, and that we forward copies of this resolution to a group of politicians up in Albany. Basically, they want to eliminate, the APA has a rule that things can't be over 40 feet tall, and like with these cell towers here, they couldn't be above the ridge line as you viewed them from the lake. And of course, the restrictions in height also restricts greatly our cell service. You know, I've said it many times, I live 3 miles from here and I don't have cell service because the towers are too short. So anyway, I will make a motion that we support this by passing this resolution and forwarding it to the people that they have suggested we forward it to.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Does anybody have anything else for new business? Okay. Committee reports, let's see. We had our first training on TextMyGov. Our next one is tomorrow, and we should be ready to launch it shortly afterwards. We've given them the groups that we want to be able to access, so we have a town-wide group, and then a group for each of the water and sewer districts. And the water and sewer districts are important so that if we have boil water, or if there's a break or something, we can notify people. And then the town-wide one will have anything that's going to involve everybody in town, or a good portion of the town. It seems pretty simple. There'll be a widget on our web page that people can jump from, or and once they do that, they can sign up for whatever group they want to be notified for. There will be information. They've got flyers and stuff that tell you exactly how to do it. It's pretty simple to put your number in there, and basically you go into this one site, you put your number in whatever group you want to be in, and then, when we send a text to that group, you get a text on your phone for that. So if you have cell service, you're all set. So we'll have training, like I said, our second training's tomorrow, and then it should be ready to launch shortly after that. We have to get the instructions on placing the widget on the webpage. We'll get that with Zach and go from there. Stewart's, we got our holiday match information for the grant, so we'll be doing that in the next little ways. Usually send that to them by beginning of January. I had previously sent you an email about that Mark and Jim Waldron had talked about them wanting to buy that modified truck that was turned into a tractor. I've gotten a couple calls from Tim Napper waffling about the price and whatnot. And so I said, look, it is what it is, so either buy it or don't.
Good.
So he's,
Contemplating?
yeah, he's got to go through his board,
If they
and,
don't
you
buy it,
know.
we'll get it, bring it back here.
And I told him that. I said, you know, it obviously doesn't get fixed there, it gets broken there, so we'll bring it back here. And then he went into something about, well, you know, we should sell both the tractor and the trailer and get something that better, and it's like, so anyway, that's where that stands, if you're wondering.
What was the price that we said, 6?
No, well, Mark told me that Jim told him 8,000, and I told Mark 10,000 to tell him 10,000. He went back to the board. Apparently, he told the board 7,000 is what he offered. So there's a big disconnect already. So that's why I said, look, you know, we're gonna. Here's what the price. You know, we're not taking 7,000. And I said, Jim offered 8,000. I said 10,000. I'm willing to go in the middle. But, well. So anyway, that's where it stands right now. If they don't want to purchase it, yes, we do need to bring it back here, and we can just sell it outright. 'Cause
Yep.
it's it is what it is. So I'll get rid of that. I did send a letter of support to the Lake Champlain Basin Program on behalf of the Shazy Lake Watershed Initiative. They're looking for a $15,000 grant. For the purpose of educating property owners how to identify faulty septic systems and prevent those systems from leaking effluent into Shazy Lake. So that letter was sent, and hopefully they get the grant. Compliance came, they talked with Leslie, and they gave us a check for $2,257 because we didn't have any compliance,
Claims.
you know, any claims or anything, so. That takes care of that. You have Danielle's report, you've got Shane's report. And I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it for me. Jim, do you have anything?
No.
Jason?
I just wanted to thank you for all the hard work you put in towards this whole EMS stuff. I appreciate it, and it's been a long road. And on that note too, I just would like, now that we don't have a paid staff there, and they've been doing it, the guys been doing a pretty good job. But I just don't have anybody to keep the place open so they can come in and just keep the front of it open, and then after hours I can go up and clean everything back with our pickup.
Yep.
Be well appreciated.
Yes. Mike?
Good.
Joey?
No, I just think that, you know, like we said earlier, the EMS is not what we wanted from the beginning, but it's definitely a work in progress, and I think we're at the best point we can right now from what happened with Saranac. So just that's a wait and see year for us, test year, so let's see how it goes, and if that happens, we'll definitely let you know what's going on for sure.
Yep.
And secondary note, I did attend the training that Becky sent out, and that was really excellent training. By the way, it refreshed some stuff that I forgot all about. I've been on the board for so long, there were some things like, wow, I forgot about that. And so it was good training. We should probably, Becky, do you know about the books that they said we should have? Are they been newly updated? Any new copyright dates on that?
No, it's
No, they're still the same?
We have all the.
Yep. But you can check on the Association of Towns website. They have them electronically there. So, you know, if you ever want to check something and wonder if it's been updated. But the copyright on all of the ones online, I checked them, they're still the same as what we have.
Still the same one we have?
Yep.
And listen, they had great attendance too, so there's a lot of towns that sent people, huh? I
Yep.
mean, it was packed.
It was good.
And the attorneys were fantastic to deal with. I mean, they explained to you in layman's terms. They didn't go over your head with anything stupid, and just a good refresher for sure for me.
Okay, anybody have anything else? All right, I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming
Thank you.
and braving the storm.
The only place that has snow.